Rolling.
No, you can have 2 clipboards.
Socks and Crocs where it is. Get on my level. I feel really awkward.
Are we talking about food?
Yeah, food. Mostly about us though. Got a couple of questions. What's your fave dirty feed?
For the longest time, it's been pizza. But more recently, they've just been like, bro, they've been messing me up. Like, I don't know if it's like them MSGs.
Maybe.
But I've been switching back to burgers. So
okay.
I would say burgers.
Yeah. I think mine is burgers as well.
Where do you go?
Mostly grilled, but I eat a lot of GYG. So that's probably not, that's...
Well...
It's more like when I'm not prepared and I'm like, I'm just going to go through the drive-thru. Like, it's healthy. It's not. Yeah.
Yeah, like I think of... Because that's how I draw the line on dirty feed. So like, I probably get more sushis than I do burgers or pizzas.
Yeah.
But I don't consider sushi dirty feed.
Yeah.
Because like, you have sushi and you feel good.
Yeah.
But you have GYG and you're just like, what am I doing with my life?
I know. You could get like a nice burrito bowl and make it a little bit healthier, but I'm always getting a Cali burrito with chips in it.
Yeah, and if you're not getting those chips in that Cali burrito, you're getting those chips.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't not get the chips.
Because they're the best chips.
They are the best chips. Maybe we shouldn't dwell on how good the chips are.
Yeah. So what's a trigger? Like, why would you just go and eat a dirty feed?
It could be little. It could be someone's in here and they say pizza.
Yeah.
Or they say burger.
Sets it off.
And then I'll start thinking about it, and that might be at like 5 a.m. And then it might not happen that day, but it'll happen in the next couple of days. Like, it just builds back there. What kicks it off in your world?
I'd say just like, not being prepared and a little bit of like reward as well. So it's a bit of both. Yeah, not being, like I could go quickly to Coles and get like stuff for a sandwich. So quick and easy. But I'm lazy and I'll just go through the drive-thru.
So is it more of a short duration thing? You're like,
I think so,
I'm hungry right
like,
now and I don't have a solution.
Yes, yeah. So it's a convenience thing for me and time thing. When I could be a little bit more prepared at the beginning of the week. At the moment, I'm really good, like prepared and, I've got things at home. What snackies do you keep in the house? And are they healthy or are snacks healthy? I don't know. What do you consider a snacky,
Oh, I consider a snacky anything outside of a main meal.
Yeah.
I have a cupboard. It's a double door.
Yeah.
And it's my carb cupboard.
Yep.
It is just good to go.
Yeah.
But like, I keep my Wheat Bix in there. I keep Powerade powder in there. I keep waffles. This is what's in there right now.
Yeah.
Waffles, Oreos, protein bars are in there.
Yeah.
There's one other thing. Oh, I tried some LD fruit roll-ups.
Oh, yeah.
Which were very tasty, but they get stuck in my teeth and the wrappers are...
Annoying.
I struggle with the wrappers.
Yeah. When I think about what snacks am I going to get, what fueling things am I going to get, pretty much the same, but I like to have like protein snacks as well. So I have like YoPro yogurts and get them on sale only when they're on special.
Or get the LD version.
If I go to Aldi, then I have to always go to Coles or Woolies anyway. So I'm like, just go to Coles. But yeah, it'll be protein bars or just like, the muesli bars that have like 10 grams of protein, not very much.
Well, I suppose because you've got to accommodate a small person as well. Do you dip into the olive snacks?
Sometimes we'll get like the big chips that have like all the
20 little packets?
Yeah. And sometimes I'll get into those, like sometimes they've got like the Smiths and the Twisties and stuff. Or Tiny Teddies. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, Aldi have really good Tiny Teddies.
And then just fruit. Bananas. Bananas are always a go-to. Like if I train here, I'll sometimes have an intro straight or a PT after. So I'll have like a protein snack and bananas, some sort of carb. Overall food goal, like what is your goal? Lose weight, bulk?
I think that's why oftentimes my food does get a bit inconsistent because I don't really have a specific food goal. Like sometimes I'll be like, so I weigh myself every day, last thing before bed. It's just the time where I can be most consistent because I'm just about to have a shower, so scale's right there, it's all good. And it's consistent. If I notice it dropping.
Yes.
And then I'll think back and I'll be like, holy crap, I haven't had lunch for a week or something like that. But that said, so this week, because I've got a lot of riding to do this weekend, so I've been making a big effort to make sure I hit like a ton of food.
Yep.
So I literally want to go like 2-3 kilos over my regular body weight into this big ride.
Same for me. If I don't track what I'm eating, then I just fall off because I guess I'm like not hungry. I'm busy. I'm not hungry.
I think we both suffer from that a little bit.
Make sure that I'm eating enough. Yeah.
Like we don't get super hungry.
No.
Which is why we are the size that we are.
Yes.
What do you think about this as like an analogy? Like if I'm not checking in my body weight and you're not checking in with your recording, it's kind of like driving your car around with no fuel gauge.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the car's like, there's not a problem. You can get fuel whenever you need, But we're just, you know, if we don't keep an eye on it, it can, oh, geez, now I'm on the side of the highway.
Yeah.
Oops.
Stuck.
I just don't want people to think that we're like obsessing about counting our calories and watching our body weight.
No. Definitely not. The only reason that I have counted for years is just to make sure that I am eating enough. Yeah.
And do you notice it sometimes? Like if you're like, oh, dang, I ate 1,800 calories yesterday and now your training is like,
yes.
Bruh.
Fully. So it all depends as well, like where I am in my cycle. The middle, I have like no appetite. So I really have to force myself. And if I don't, then my training is absolute trash. Just shows like food is so important, fueling yourself for this type of training. Ever work with a dietitian or nutritionist?
Yes. So I met Taylor when she was a weightlifting coach, CrossFit coach specializing in weightlifting. And I was like, this girl is a wizard. Like what is she, like 50 some kilos? And you just watch her lift and be like, dude,
she's a beast.
She knows her stuff.
Yeah.
So I got a few weightlifting tips from her. And then someone said, oh yeah, she's studying dietetics. I went to her with the goal of I wanted to gain 11 kilos. And in 9 months, she got me up like 10 kilos and I dropped like 2% body fat.
Wow.
That doesn't mean I put on 10 kilos of just savage muscle in that time. It just, there's a lot of other factors.
She knows her stuff. No, probably. I mean, I think at the old gym, I got some advice from Bella. But back then, I had a little bit of a different mentality around, I think I trained to look a certain way. And
is this when you just started CrossFitting?
Yeah, okay. I think I still got in my head about like what I looked like and didn't want to put on any weight. So, yeah, over the years, I guess I just changed a little bit, like training to be strong and not really caring about what I look like.
When you started CrossFit, is that why you started? You started because you had an aesthetic in mind and you'd seen CrossFit girls and you were like, nah.
I think I was still, so before CrossFit, I was definitely still in that headspace, training for aesthetics. And then, like, slowly over the years at Movida, I was like, oh my gosh, there's all these different, like, body types. And they're just, like, so confident in their bodies. They're so strong. And it was really inspiring. So I was like, yes, I just want to be strong. Let's move on. Food before and after training.
I go for, really simple carbs. So I'm a big fan of baby foods. In a pinch, if you were like, hey, we're training at 7:30, I'm like, I forgot my food. I'll just go around to 7-Eleven and get like a bag of lollies. Yeah. So how soon I'm going to train will dictate like what I'm having. Like I'll go straight sugar carb if it's like, bro, you got to perform in like 10 minutes.
Yep.
Like I used to keep a squeeze honey with me.
Yeah.
And like I would hit a squeeze honey like after the warm up, before the workout, just let's go.
Do you feel that fuels you enough though?
I think it does enough to get me through.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's probably the best for muscle growth.
Yep.
I think for proper muscle growth, I'd want to be eating something an hour before. I'd want to have my muscles just dripping with carb before I do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, so I train a little bit later, so I could probably, I can eat like an hour and a half before. But I'm still only eating like those types of carbs, simple carbs. And it'll usually be, bagel with some like honey, almond butter, peanut butter. After training, we haven't talked about that.
Oh, after training. Yeah. So after training.
Rugby, sponsor us.
Should we do like a... Yeah, so after training. So before training, I'm having the carbs. After training, I tend to have a carbs and a protein, not because I'm a big protein after training person, but I'm just a big protein across the day person.
Yes.
And if I hadn't had any over the last couple of hours, I'm just due.
Yeah.
I'm just due some proteins. I want to get a little snack in, sort of start, the body being willing to accept food.
Yeah.
And then get a full-on meal as soon as I think I can.
Are you the type of person that can eat immediately after training, or
Little
do you have
things.
to wait? Yeah.
But I think that's why I have to stagger it like that. So like if right after a workout I can get in like a lolly, a muesli bar, something, like just something to introduce the idea of we are now handling food.
Yeah.
And then hopefully within the next 40 to 60 minutes I can get like a full-on meal.
Yeah. It's like chalky milk, so easy.
Oh, chalky milk.
If I am home after training, then I will have maybe some toast, eggs.
Are you counting that as a meal or like a snacky?
Like a smaller brekkie,
Second breakfast.
Yeah, second breakfast. But if I'm here, then it'll just be multiple snackies. That takes us into what you eat in a day and when you time it.
So I prepared my day of food with times and food and estimations on protein. Some of it is packet stuff, so I've got that's what the packet says. First thing in the morning, so just after I wake up, about 4:15ish, I'll have a coffee with cow milk, 4 Wheat Bix and honey. The next thing I'll eat is usually around 7:30. So usually, we might have a PT or something. So then 7:30, I'll get a protein bar and a protein yogurt. Combined, they're about 25 grams of protein. Then fast forward to 11. Or I should say, this week's been super predictable because I've got that ride that I mentioned. So I'm pretty much eating the same thing every single day. Makes it very simple and easy to stick to. So then, about 11, I'll have early lunch. That'll be a Muscle Chef. Then I'll have a protein milk on top of that. So that's like a 75-gram protein meal. I don't know. Some people say
that your body can
only absorb this, that. I'm like, well, and I get it that you eat too much protein and you get to the protein shits. I don't get as far as having the protein shits.
Yeah.
So my bro assumption is that that's all I've just gained 75 grams of muscle. 100% muscle. Then we went for a ride yesterday, so I had some Powerade and another protein bar in the car on the way home. Then I was cooking a big pasta all afternoon. So while the pasta was cooking, I air fried some hot chips. About 6:30. Why are you laughing at my bowl of chips?
I did not laugh. Often get on the air fryer snackies. I have a 6-year-old fussy kid. She loves the Dino Nugs, but it's balance, right?
And then you just hold her down and force broccolis.
Yeah.
Broccolis, or you sleep in the shed again. Mommy, no!
Yeah.
Shut up! So that was 3:30 chips. 6:30 had my pasta. I'm going to say 20 grams in there. And then after the pasta, just some yogurt and muesli. And I'm going to say I had maybe a coffee cup worth of yogurt. So I don't know. It wasn't specifically protein yogurt. So I'm going to say maybe 10 grams of protein. Leaves me to 140 roughly protein grams for the day.
That's a healthy dessert.
Maybe. Depends how much sugar you define as healthy. Because
You usually have a lot of sugar in it.
Right, my yogurt has a lot of sugar in it.
Oh, okay.
Everything's got a lot of sugar in it. Fell straight asleep. No
That's good.
problems.
Yeah. I sometimes worry about eating sugary things before bed, but that it's probably going to mess up my sleep. But it's not too bad. Mine, I don't have the times because, my days are a little bit all over the place. For breakfast, usually it'll be something smaller but fast carbs. So bagel with some sugary thing on it. And then, protein after. If I'm here, it'll be chalky milk, banana, protein bar. Or if I'm at home, toast and eggs. Leftovers for lunch, pasta, or I'll make a sandwich. And then, snacks and stuff, protein yogurts. Last night I had steak and veg with pumpkin, Georgie's pumpkin.
Oh, yeah, I got to take that pumpkin home.
Yeah. And then, I love the potatoes, so we made roasties last night. So good.
What did you make?
Roasties, roast potatoes.
Oh, roast potatoes. I thought you were saying rusty, but you're just saying it weird.
No, roasty, sorry. And then, chippies. I'll also make chippies, but
You make the chips?
Yeah, I'll make the chips.
You start with a potato?
Just a potato, yeah. Chuck it in the air fryer.
Do you have a thing, or do you just knife that bad boy up?
Knife it.
So when's your first protein of the day?
It'll be after training, but saying that, I do try and have maybe a protein yogurt before as well because, hormones and stuff, I feel like I do better when I've had a little bit of protein in the morning.
When you say hormones and stuff, can you expand on
It
that?
just makes me feel a little bit better, not less crazy. Less crazy.
Less crazy.
Less crazy.
Okay.
It's like a balance, right? Like protein, fat, carb.
Hmm.
If I'm just having like straight up carbs, like the other day when I had that waffle, I was like shaking before my training.
Some people having pre-workout, you're having waffles.
It's like a balance, right? You balance it all out and you feel a lot better and you're less likely to crash a little bit later in the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you find your afternoon can turn to crap if your breakfast
is not balanced.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that was just our previous days from what we're doing. So that's not always the same. It can be worse.
Yeah.
All right, last one. Fad diets. What fad diets have you tried?
Lent into the no carbs back when I was, training for looks, aesthetics. Felt shit all the time.
For real?
Like no energy. But I was probably also eating, like obviously under fueling. So probably only eating anywhere to 1,600 calories. And the gluten-free, like I'm not gluten intolerant. Why did I cut gluten out, Like,
we all gave it a shot.
It was just like, why? And then Shem lent into the paleo stuff for a little bit. So which is kind of like the same, you cut out all that stuff, just no gluten.
Okay, so those are your big ones. Low
Because you've
carb.
tried paleo.
I got to paleo when I got to CrossFit. Before that, when I was running a lot, man, I ate like just an idiot. I was convinced that like the healthiest thing I could eat, buy like a $2 or $3 bag of spinach, take it back to my desk.
Wow.
And I was just, so I was doing the same under fueling. Like I wasn't focusing on no carb, but I was eating no carb.
Yeah, just straight up bag of spinach, like fresh.
So I would have a better breakfast because I'm getting up like early, run, get home, usually cook a breakfast. And like a pretty good breakfast, like it was pretty like eggs, beans, bacons, toast.
Okay.
Yeah, so toast. There were carbs.
Yeah.
So I'd have like a pretty solid breakfast, the world's worst lunch, and then dinner was actually pretty similar to what I have now, just much smaller portions. So I'd have pasta all the time.
I think as well we leaned into like we went a bit like health nutty for a while there, and it was like no process, and we would go to the health food shops and buy all these like bougie like low sugar things, and if you couldn't pronounce the ingredient, it was bad.
That's where we all were, because no one, like, definitely before CrossFit, like I'd never really tried to educate myself on food and what food did what things to your body.
Yeah.
I'd just be like, green thing, good.
Yeah.
Dripping fatty thing, bad.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. But then when I joined CrossFit, they were doing paleo and they were pushing this thing the whole 30. So for 30 days, you would have this like hugely restricted, it was like a nerd version of paleo.
Yeah.
So like no honey, no carbs, no whatever it was. Anyway, I was like a 59 kilo runner. Like I had no business having such a weird little
Strict diet,
Yeah. I should have just been force feeding everything because I was super young back then. Mel, I was in my late 20s. I was a baby.
Very young. When you tend to be so restrictive as well, that is when you fall off the wagon, because you have things like you cut all those things out, you have cravings, and then you just crash at nighttime. You eat a block of chocolate, and then
6 beers.
Mel,
what are you going to have for lunch?
I have leftover pasta.
All right.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. We can't get them at the same time. We try again.